Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, Nick Mason. Is that you?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I looked around for a second, genuinely, to be like, is there anybody else here? But no, it's just me.
There better not be.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I don't like, it's another person being in this room.
Okay.
That would be really upsetting.
Two's the absolute maximum.
Well, I know
these
some
days.
people have been like, you need a producer, you need someone to help or whatever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people are like, can sit in. I don't want somebody in the room.
No, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Because then you're sort of obliged to
Yeah.
invite. I mean, could we
A partition.
a partition? We could do a wall here with like a glass serving hatch.
Yeah.
And then they could not be allowed to talk.
Yeah. If it was anybody, it would be Collings.
Yeah.
Who would be great and could talk. He edits this.
Yeah, yeah.
But he lives in Wales.
Hologram?
Hologram Collings.
Hologram behind the wall.
Yep. Not headphones, earmuffs on.
Yeah. Also, I think if we had a person live in here,
Yeah.
I'd want them to arrive before we got here, so like through a side door or something. And then
afterwards they go through that side door.
go through the side door
And
again.
they'd have to crawl through it,
I think they'd have to crawl through it. It'd have to be, yeah. This is sort of doggy door, producer doggy door.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you saw this, but Mark Maron is wrapping up WTF.
I did see
after
that.
16 years.
And he never asked you to be a guest. That's
Never,
so weird.
not once.
Yeah.
I used to pay him $10 a month.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why did you stop?
I can't remember. I think my credit card changed over or something, and then it just expired automatically.
Yeah.
And then
You should support independent artists.
and then I'm like, he's doing fine now.
Yeah.
Because there was a period, I don't know if you remember this, but like there was a period when the reason he was basically doing a podcast is because he'd burned every bridge in,
Yes, he did.
in the world of stand-up and,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff and like late-night TV appearances, and he was basically kicking this thing off, and I'm like, I'll pay $10 a month for that.
Yeah.
And then like a few years in, I'm like, it's fine. He's
Yeah.
doing fine, actually. He got Obama. You
Yeah,
know?
he got Obama. He had that TV show or whatever.
Yeah, because I still get the the weekly email or whatever
Yeah.
it is, and some people go. He mentions it in the email. Some people go, "Oh, it's just two conversations a week," but it's like it's two conversations a week with often very notable people.
Yeah.
And then he's got stand-up commitments, and then he may
Also, he does research. He doesn't just fly by the seat
well,
of
his
his
producer
pants.
does.
Whoa,
Come through that doggy
wow.
door. But
Didn't know that.
he's in movies, and he did like 2 or 3 seasons of his own sitcom.
He was in the movie Joker.
He was in the movie Joker.
Yeah.
So there would have been a period where he turned into the Joker, like
Yeah.
everybody who was in that and who watched
He was in
it.
Glow, I think.
He was in Glow. Glow was great.
I think, yeah. Anyway, God bless you, Mark Maron, and we hope you recover from not podcasting.
That's right.
Yeah. That was the biggest podcast in the world at some point, right?
Must have been.
Yeah.
Surely.
Now it's Joe Rogan, and that's good.
That's great.
Mason, big news this week.
Big
We're
news.
of course talking Ballerina from the world of John Wick.
That's right.
But there's news in the lead up to that. We're going to talk about some Superman stuff, including its real runtime, Mason, and what it needs
Did
to
we
break
get
even.
duped last
We
week?
got duped big
We
time.
got super duped.
I'm so embarrassed, Mason. Do you remember that crying emoji I sent you? That was my real face.
Oh, that
That
one.
wasn't an emoji. That was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you sent me an emoji of like a man like blowing a party favor thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that JD Vance?
It did look like JD Vance, but it was supposed to be me, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was because it had squirrel cheeks.
Yeah.
Which, yes. We're going to talk about the Fantastic Four first steps, the box office for that, and how that's looking.
Okay.
We've got trailers for Alien Earth, Wicked for Good, and 007 First Light.
Oh, yes.
We're going to talk about White Panther, which you just found out about.
I did.
You didn't hear about it?
And this isn't the Ryan Gosling White Panther.
No,
that he
a
always
lot of people
photoshops.
have been comparing it to that. There's a bit more to it than that. And we're going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy's potential replacement.
Whoa.
Time codes below if you do want to skip to any particular things, including the Kathleen Kennedy thing.
Is it Dave Filoni?
One of. You know what? There's no time
I thought you were
code.
going to say why not.
Why not? Why not? I mean, yeah, why not also?
Yeah.
Actually, there's no time code for that. Collins, take it out. You can't skip to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. You're going to have to listen the whole way
You gotta
through.
listen through, man.
You casuals out there who are only here for Kathleen Kennedy news.
Yeah, man.
You're going to have to hunt for it.
That's right. James Gunn, he took to Threads. He said, hello, everyone. He said...
What's this again?
They asked him
Threads.
about the runtime because we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Apparently it was 2 hours and 2 minutes. But he said, no, that's not the runtime. It's gun time, he said. That's what he said.
I don't think he said
and then
that.
he said, this is real.
You said that.
This is real.
Okay, but I want to be clear. You came up
I'm
with
saying
that.
what he said.
You
I'm
came up
repeating
with
it.
that slander is what's happening here.
Slander?
He would never say it's gun time. What you've done there, it's slander because it's diminished his...
Is libel written, slander spoken?
what you've done is both. Easily both.
I did write runtime more like gun time in my notes.
Well, then it's absolutely both. If you email that to somebody, that's threatening via a carriage service. You will go to prison for that.
Collings, put runtime more like gun time in the thing with the time code.
Yeah. Because you've dropped the public's estimation of him by saying that he would say not runtime, it's gun time.
He said it though,
and so he could sue you for that.
He said it. Apparently, it's going to be 2 hours and 9 minutes, including credits and the post-credits scene.
Whoa.
That is shorter than most Superman movies.
Spoiler, James Gunn. I didn't want to know there was a post-credits scene.
There is. There might even be 2, I think. There probably is. There's probably a fun one and a real one.
Yeah, fun one and a gun one.
Mason.
Yes?
That's slander or libel. And I can see you've tattooed it on your body.
That's right.
You can't do that, mate.
I was just inspired by the movie Ballerina.
Yeah, fair enough. He was asked if Warner Brothers asked him to shorten the runtime. He said zero truth to that. This is gun time.
Yeah, I was going to say they asked me to shorten the gun time. Which just to say the number of scenes where Superman simply shoots somebody with a gun, and I said no, I won't reduce the gun time.
I do it. It's going in. And he said, and they couldn't even if that was something they wanted to do. I wanted to. It's a DC Studios film. So, yeah, as we've talked about before, the DCU sits independently from Warner Brothers for now. And we'll see how that operates after all these. Yeah. Yes. But via the wrap, according to one insider, if Superman grosses anything north of $500 million worth worldwide, the film will turn a profit at the box office. That's not inclusive of ancillary revenue, so toys, merch,
popcorn buckets,
etc. In the court of public opinion, however...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You didn't factor this in, did you, James Gunn?
No, he didn't.
You didn't factor in. You might be convicted by the court of public opinion.
Whoa.
Then it'll be gun time for you.
Yeah.
Because the public are going to...
Bang, bang.
Exactly.
Don't shoot him, mate.
Don't
please.
shoot James Gunn.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It will need to gross closer to $700 million to be considered a hit. I think that's a pretty reasonable target.
Yeah.
I think it's tracking well and people seem to like it. And if it's good, or at least, no, it doesn't have to be good.
Yeah.
If people like it,
Oh, sure.
Minecraft movie,
That's exactly
then
right.
it will do all right.
The trailer racked up a lot of hits in a very short amount of time. And some upvotes probably, and downvotes.
And downvotes. But, this is only a short stop gap before we restore the Snyderverse.
That's so
true.
true,
We'll let
isn't it?
James Gunn have a little bit of fun.
He can play with his little make-believe action figures, can't he? His little dolls.
Did you see that action figure ad they had?
No.
They made like a 90s style action figure commercial.
Oh, that's fun.
It's really fun.
With James Gunn and...
James Gunn's not in it. It's Superman and it's like, oh no, there's a big monster and whatever. It's fun.
That does sound like fun.
It's Gunn.
I like it.
Me too. So there you go. That's out July 11th, in case you've forgotten.
I did.
It's out July 11th, Mason.
I saw the trailer of this before Ballerina, like for the first time on a really big screen.
How'd it
I'm
look?
like, I'm hyped. Looks more. The color grading is better in cinemas.
I think
Or at
they
least in my
changed it though. I think people have said that as well, yeah. What is it? Is it like they toned it down, they toned it up?
They toned it up. He's way more blue.
He's blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
I say color grading like I know what that is. I don't really. Colors. There's more colors.
There's more
is that
colours
color
than
grading?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, there's more colours.
Yeah. Just push the color grading button in After Effects up to up and better.
More colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a slider. You push that up, and then there's a button marked better, and you just tap that like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Be better.
You can tap it as many times as you want.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
only get better.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, though.
Oh, yes.
First steps. That's a Fantastic Four reboot. This is according to Box Office Theory. Apparently in the US, it's going to open somewhere between 125 136 million. This is 2 weeks after Superman.
Is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
Will it have legs? I mean, it seems that the Thunderbolts is not going to make its money back.
Interesting.
So,
Generally liked, though?
Generally liked, though, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they burnt too many bridges, etc.
Maybe they burnt too many bridges, etc.
Yeah, I saw there was a video in the Great Mates group. I'll bring this up. That's the official Facebook group of this podcast and other things. There was a video somebody posted about, this is like the Silver Age of comic book movies.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Bring that up.
So we're going to have to sort of rebuild.
Yeah.
And
Jacob Wurick
posted
this. I haven't actually watched this video yet, but I looked at that and I went, maybe, but I haven't watched the video.
Okay, right. Promising thumbnail.
Yeah, the video is by Go Read Some Comics with Jenna. So there you go. Maybe check that out if it's a good video, which I don't know. But I like that idea of, I definitely think we are moving into a different era of
I think we
comic book
should.
movies.
Well, in that case,
or we should
because
at the very
because
least.
the between the golden and silver ages of comic books, there was when we say that, we usually mean
A slump and a lull?
Yeah, there was a slump and a lull, specifically of superhero stuff. When we refer to the golden ages, it's almost always superhero stuff. But like in between, there was like war comics and romance comics. I say, get Trish Walker out of prison. She can have a bit of a romance. Give her a show.
That'd be nice.
Give her a movie. You know?
So she's definitely still in the.
She's in the raft. Yeah, I've heard nothing, but I haven't heard anything.
That's in the ocean too.
Yeah, I know.
You can't even swim away from that. Yeah, There's always a lot of ocean happening.
There's a lot of
it.
ocean. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see how this. I wonder if these will build off the back of each other, like this and Superman and Jurassic World 4 / Jurassic Park 7.
Maybe people will see one and go, I'm jazzed to go to the movies again.
Yeah,
I'll see another thing.
I like the color on that one.
Yeah, that's right. I like the color grading. What does that mean? Define what you mean.
yourself.
I'll beat you up.
I'm a disgruntled cinema employee.
That's right. Only I know what color grading is. Well, why don't you explain it?
So, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest? I know at the start of the year we were like, it's probably going to be Jurassic World, but maybe it will be Superman.
I think it'll still be Jurassic World. I think they do generally very well, right? Because people love dinosaurs.
I like them.
But I think I
like him even when I don't like him. I like those movies.
I think it'll be Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four.
Okay. Yeah. I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people are just excited to see what a new Superman movie will be. And they're jazzed because of the color grading.
Yeah, that's true.
They saw Ballerina like me.
Yep.
Like me and the 0 other people in the cinema when I saw it.
Oh, really? You had a zero cinema experience?
I did. I
was pretty busy.
When I booked the ticket, there were 4 seats unavailable. And I'm like, well, there'll be 4 people. That's fine, I guess. And they just didn't show up. So
wow.
Yeah.
Losers.
Yeah.
You were on your own.
Yes.
What an experience.
At one point, a cinema employee came in, and I'm pretty sure they were like,
hey, everyone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were just checking to see if anybody was in there, and if there wasn't, they were going to switch it off and go home.
I think they were going to come in and fart because they thought it was an empty room. Damn it.
That's right.
I'm a fart cinema.
I'm going to have to do it in the break room now, and everybody's in there. Sorry, everyone. Cinema 6 was full. You know the rules. Yeah, Gary, we know. Let it rip.
Speaking of letting it rip, Mason, trailers ahoy.
Rip.
Come on, boat.
You let it rip.
For those people that don't know, there's a boat that comes every week and brings us trailers. And normally it honks, but this week it did a fart.
Yeah.
Okay.
At you specifically.
What?
I noticed. I didn't smell it at all. Felt very powerful and directed. You're smelling it right now.
Yeah, I am smelling it.
Yeah.
I thought that was you.
No.
Alien Earth, Mason.
You'll know when it's me. You son of a bitch.
Alien Earth.
Oh, yes.
Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
But what do you know about this series?
I don't know anything.
Do you know what you do? It's by Noah Hawley. You know that.
I know that. Who
did Legion?
He made Legion.
You know it's set before something and after something else?
I don't know that for sure. Is it set between Alien and Aliens?
I think so.
It's set in 2120.
Yeah.
Now, when those are set,
when
no one knows.
Aliens
because they never give any dates.
No. Aliens set in 2122.
Oh.
So just before.
Okay. What's interesting about this trailer, one notable thing, is that there is a little girl in it, and she is the first person who's having a consciousness transferred into a synthetic being, which is not a part of the established lore as far as I know. I thought all the synthetic beings were AI or, they're computer brains.
Yeah, okay.
Clockwork computer brains and so forth. Got an Atari in there.
Oh, got an Atari in there.
Yeah, got an Atari in there.
I like the idea of that. I think that's an interesting... I don't know, the idea of a whole lot of synthetics with human brains.
She doesn't seem super jazzed about it.
No, but I mean, no. But it means that they can fight aliens.
I think she's concerned that they're not actually transferring her consciousness. They're just copying it.
Yeah,
and then they're going to mulch her.
Oh, okay.
They're going to mulch a little girl.
Don't mulch a little girl.
And then a copy of her consciousness is going to be. So this is a team of synthetic people.
Yes, and recovering 5 life forms. One's an eyeball squid.
One is an eyeball squid.
I saw on one of the aliens.
Do you think these are all different species?
I think they are, yeah.
Collected by some guy?
Yeah, some guy.
Yeah.
I saw in the alien wiki that that eyeball thing will take out a thing's eye and bury itself in a parasite.
Oh, one of those fish.
Yeah, like one of those fish. So it could be and then it takes over the body. So if it did that to an alien, it could have a big boggly eye on it, or it buries in acid blood and goes, and it's just having the worst time of its life. Either one of those things would be really entertaining to see.
That's entertaining for sure.
That's entertainment, folks.
That's entertainment. This also has, is it Nemec from...
from The Force Awakens.
Yes, that's right.
From Andor, season
yeah,
1.
he's in it.
Season 1, crushed by a bunch of coins.
And in this, he seems he's also having a bad time.
Yeah, man. He's here to get crushed by a bunch of something, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see him in the Disney machine.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just churning
One of
over.
the Disney players.
And he played that pedophile.
Did he?
In Black Mirror.
Oh, he did too. Is he British?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's British in Andor.
Yeah, I know, but maybe he's putting on an accent.
I don't know.
Diego Luna's putting on that accent.
What?
Hey, I'm Diego Luna.
Hey, folks, howdy.
Exactly, that's right. You might know me as Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor.
I'm in Rogue One.
I'm Rogue One.
I'm in Rogue One.
This is out August 12th. How many episodes is this? What do we know about it?
We don't know anything. You know more than me, and I know nothing.
I know some things. It's on FX. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
The
one
home
episode.
of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or
That's
it used to
true.
be anyway.
More episodes, more seasons. There's a little
Is
girl.
that their slogan?
More episodes.
FX, more episodes, more
Oh, Timothy
seasons.
Olyphant's in it.
He is, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Is he's not playing the Guy Pearce role from...
Like the same character.
Yeah.
No, they just get Guy Pearce. This is 8.
They would just... they might get Guy Pearce.
This is 8. So there's going to be 2 episodes on the release, and then it's going to be
Okay.
1 a week until September 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is good stuff.
It is good stuff.
I'm very excited for this. This was announced in February 2019.
Well,
Wow.
I'm going to get your skates on, Alien.
And they're on Earth, which we've never seen. Or we did an Alien Predator. Don't worry about it.
Looks pretty nice.
Looks pretty good. Wicked for Good.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new trailer. Do you think
Yeah.
they should have made this a trilogy? The last one was 2 hours and 40 minutes, even though that is much longer than the play itself.
Yes. Is this going to be even more hours? How many hours is this?
Good question.
Mr.
I don't
Runtime
think
over
there's-
here.
I don't think there's
Ronnie
new-
Runtime over here.
My name is not Ronald Runtime.
It is. It's Ronald Runtime Reagan. You're named after your granddad.
It doesn't say yet.
Okay, but long I would bet. It'd be funny if this one was a brisk 90 minutes.
People are just estimating that it's between 2 hours 30 and 2 hours 40. Well, when you go see a show,
Yes.
when you see a musicale,
Okay.
when you come back, often the second half, it's not actually the second half. It's more like the last third.
Right, okay.
You know?
Because everybody knows you're going to be exhausted.
I'm going to be out of there, mate. You
Okay,
can't
yeah,
keep me
yeah.
there.
It's like sometimes at work, my first half's very long and then the second half's quite short and you're like, relief.
Relief.
What a relief. So
No, I can fart in the fart room, you
that's
say.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm in a union. I can fart anyway.
What?
I would say that even though I know nothing about this movie or this franchise generally, except the first part, this trailer really does give away the entire movie.
Yeah,
like you
oh
really do.
boy, does
like
it.
if there's somebody sent to stop the witch, and then you know he's going to change sides and blah blah. Like it's all in there. You know
I'm
what I
going
mean?
to change sides.
Yeah, he says
Someone's
that.
going to stop the witch.
That's right.
Also, I'm going to spoil something pretty major.
Go on.
Do you want me to do it?
Is it the thing I asked you?
That's a different thing. Skip
Oh.
ahead. Everybody, if you don't want to know,
Wow.
the prince.
What if I don't want to know?
Do you want to know?
I don't care.
The
I'll
prin-
forget. By the time it's out, I'll
You
forget.
will. The prince becomes the scarecrow.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah, but it's in the movie.
Oh.
And you haven't seen it yet.
Isn't there another guy? Isn't there like 2 guys in this? Isn't there 2 guys in the last one that turned into the Tin Man? And
Maybe
the...
he turned into the Tin Man. I don't know. He's a scarecrow, I think. I can't remember. One of them.
You don't know. So this spoiler's a thing you don't know.
I vaguely remember.
I'm pretty confident, again, having not seen the live
No,
stage
I
version.
think I'm right.
I'm pretty confident that the guy who's also in Jurassic World, the new
Yeah.
Jurassic World, he becomes a Tin Man.
I
right?
don't think he. Oh,
One
maybe
of
he
them, I'm pretty because also in this
Yeah,
trailer,
you're right. Maybe
in this
you're right.
trailer we do get a little glimpse of Dorothy and
Yeah, and the lion they
the
let go
merry
in the
band
first one.
of mischief makers.
Yeah.
so I'm pretty confident. I think isn't there a bunch of references in the first one to one of those guys turning into the Tin Man?
There's a
or the-
million fucking references. They the lion. They have a lion in it, and it
Yeah.
runs away. Yeah, maybe he is the Tin Man.
Isn't the Tin Man in the books? Isn't the idea that he was a normal man?
One of them,
and then he
no,
chopped away all his limbs or something.
The boyfriend of her sister,
Yes.
he becomes either the Tin Man or the Scarecrow.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, one of them
Yeah.
does. I don't remember, yeah. So I think the boyfriend of the prince, I think he is the Scarecrow and the other one is the Tin Man.
Okay,
Because he's like, you broke my heart and my heart's tin and I'm a Tin Man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cutting my legs off or whatever the
That's
story
what he
is.
did say. That was at the end of
If he cut his own limbs off, how did he put his limbs back on?
Sewing Needle. Are you stupid?
I am stupid.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to be mean about it.
Yes, it does. That's what we agree to before every episode of this podcast.
I'm too stupid to know what I'm agreeing to.
We put our hands together and we go,
I'm with
gonna be
stupid."
mean to each other. We're going to be mean to each other. Then we run around the table and then we sit down and then the podcast starts.
That is true.
It is
A lot
true.
of people think that's not true and that's a joke, but that's real.
That's real.
This is out November 21st.
Great, I'll be there. I'll be first in line. I did have a thought as well.
You won't.
We won't.
You
No,
will see it for this,
I'll
but
see it
you
because I have to see it because we saw the. Although we've never talked about the last 2 Harry Potter movies, so I guess we could just abandon this. We could abandon this franchise.
Mason, we
halfway
need to
through.
fill weeks. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's true. No, I'll see it, but I'll be there. My first available session before we have to talk about it on the podcast. That's what I'll be there for. But
love
I
that
had a
about
thought. It had only just occurred to me, and I won't spoil it in the. We won't spoil it on the podcast. But I was like, because the Wicked Witch of this movie and the play in the original Wizard of Oz, she's hit with water and she dies. And
Yeah.
I'm like, does that really happen? Does it turn out not to be true? And we won't spoil it here.
I told him it's not true.
Okay, right.
Wait, what are we spoiling?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you excited? Come on, man.
About life in general? Yes.
You
About
know what we
this,
could
not
talk
really.
about next week? The
What's that?
Materialists. I was just looking.
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
I wouldn't mind seeing
and
a,
Chris
if
Evans.
that's even out
and
next
Dakota
week.
Johnson.
Yeah, it is. It's out next week.
That's terrific. We could talk about that. That's a classic rom-com.
Well, I know you also want to talk about the How to Train Your Dragon remake.
I don't want to talk about that. I've not even seen the original.
Dude, I don't even care if you don't want to talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Let's do it.
I'd rather see Materialists.
Would you
honestly.
rather see that or Karate Kid Legends?
Ooh. It's interesting because by all accounts, Karate Kid Legends is just Karate Kid again.
Yeah.
But it's got Daniel LaRusso and whatever Jackie Chan's character is called.
Mr. Miyagi.
And they just show up occasionally. And
Yeah.
they could be there or not there. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But also How to Train Your Dragon.
You've never seen the
I've never
original.
seen it, but apparently it's just
Same
It's
direction,
just a
isn't it?
cartoon again. So I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't want to see the other one.
It's got that John Krasinski, The Office haircut.
Oh yeah,
The boy.
That's pretty good.
And that's good.
That's pretty good. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, Materialists. Let me ask you this, James,
I'm ready.
because it's got a classic rom-com premise, at least from the trailer, which is
snob
like,
and a slob.
Well, there's a snob and a slob, and there's this lady, and she's Lady Hitch.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's Hitchette, and she's like, well, what do I choose? Do I choose between?
This guy I used to date and it didn't
Yeah.
work out and he's a bum.
Yeah, he's a
Or
real
this
bum.
billionaire.
And the twist in these like back in the olden times, the twist would always be that the rich guy,
Yeah.
he initially seems nice, but then he turns out he's real mean and awful and cruel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the guy who's penniless, but he's a nice guy. Is that surely that's not the twist?
Yeah, look, I mean, if it was real, if he was a billionaire, he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
But I'm assuming they're not going to go down that road.
yeah, because it's Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal, unless he is a psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, you see, like, Chris Evans in his, like, dirty apartment and he's eating cigarettes out of the sink or
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
And it's like, why doesn't anyone love me?
Yeah.
He's lucky he looks like Chris Evans because that guy would be fucked.
Yeah.
In the dating market,
That's right.
destroyed.
And he doesn't even have the Chris Evans Hollywood hair. He's got the sad normal guy hair. Is the twist that he's going to suck? Like he's mean and cruel,
That
but
would
he's
be
also
really
poor.
funny. Why do you pick me? Because you're awful.
Yeah.
You smell bad. You live in a bin. You're rude.
You're rude and
Your
mean.
dick's weird.
Sure. Oh, is that the twist? In his dick, it's got a twist
It's
to
got
it.
twisted like a duck. It's a
Yeah.
corkscrew.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe. I'd be interested to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Or it's just a classic. Or they've just gone, whatever. It's the same. It's the cliche rom-com, whatever.
yeah.
You know.
I'll tell you
maybe.
that. We didn't talk about this before the show, but there was a reveal for Resident Evil 9. Did you see that?
The game?
Goes back to Ground Zero, where they dropped a bomb on Raccoon City, and now all the
Raccoons are loose.
Raccoons are loose and irradiated and shit.
Wow.
That's good. I'm glad they're doing that. That's
Okay.
out February of next year.
They doing another remaster? What are they up to?
They're up to 5,
Which
which
is
is
the
why
ri-
they've paused.
Yeah.
I think.
Because some people say it's racist.
You got to think about what you're doing with that one, you know? It's, I mean, there's a cool big bat in it. And
I
that's
would say
fun.
some of the previous Resident Evil games are racist towards Romanians.
That's right.
Or men with bags on their heads.
Yeah,
that
man.
wield chainsaws.
Yeah,
run
man.
around with chainsaws.
Leave them alone.
Yeah,
Leave them
right.
be. That was a great game, both then and now. But we did get a reveal for the next Bond game, which is coming out next year. It is a new James Bond in a new universe.
That's right.
It's called 007 First Light.
First of all, I think that's a bad name.
yeah. And
Should
you've
be called James Bond Sex Bomb.
Young
And then
Jimmy
they could use
Sex
then
Bomb
they could use the
Bonds.
Tom Jones song. You know, as the theme.
It's not unusual
Yeah.
to use the Sex Bomb song.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. But you have a theory on why it's called 007 and not James Bond, though, right?
Well, my theory generally, first of all, I want to go to the Wikipedia page for this game. Somebody's had a bit of fun here because they've said, following the release of 007 Legends in October 2012, publisher
nice.
Activision had its non-exclusive license revoked.
Wow.
It's a classic bit of Bond wordplay there, I think.
I remember that when that happened.
But I think they're calling it 007 First Light because they're trying to de-emphasize James Bond in stuff. I think they've started going, casting a James Bond, starting to fall in the too hard basket.
Yeah, okay.
And it would be, and because they now, Amazon owns MGM and etc., I think they're trying to be like, what if we just did some 00 related stuff, MI6 stuff, ensemble team show, etc. I think I've mentioned before that one of the most recent 007 books, it's about a bunch of different 00 agents.
Yeah, okay.
James Bond's not really in it.
Right,
So
okay.
I think they're sort of testing the waters in various avenues to be like, can we do a super spy thing? We'll ride on the James Bond, premise, but not too hard. And we'll see if we can get some new 00 agents.
We can spin off.
Yeah. That being said, I don't know if you saw this recently, but Aaron Taylor-Johnson has become an Amiga ambassador, Amiga, the watch company.
Is that good or bad for James Bond?
That's probably means he might be the new James Bond.
Interesting.
Because Amiga are all like, tee-hee, look at us, we're all cheeky, we're doing a little cheeky thing.
Wasn't he Craven?
He was Craven in the bad movie Craven the Hunter,
It was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was bad.
Who was Little Craven? That boy from the thing we saw last week.
No, that was Little Craven's brother.
Little Craven's brother, Tiny Craven, Chameleon Craven.
Little Craven, can't remember.
I was just looking up.
Yes.
Who plays this? So it's a young James Bond.
I'll tell you exactly who it is.
Yeah, it's the guy from Dexter New Blood.
It is Patrick Gibson.
Apparently. That is the rumor.
He looks a lot like
He looks just like him.
Yeah.
And he's Irish.
When he's got...
We've had an Irish James Bond before.
That's true.
Sean Connery, famously Irish.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Write in. I fucking dare you. I dare you to not get that joke and write into me. I fucking dare you.
Yeah. I dare you to say that wasn't even a joke. It's just some words
Yeah, I
starting
dare
together.
you.
I dare you. Write in. Send a letter. So here's the first thing I would say. I've said the First Light is a bad name. I think it's good. It should be called Sex Bomb. But a lot of people have said, I like the idea of this. I like the trailer. I don't think he looks like James Bond.
Yeah,
and I
that
disagree.
was my first reaction.
I think initially...
But it grew on me, though.
Yeah, it grows on you. He certainly doesn't look like Daniel Craig, obviously, but Daniel Craig didn't look like James.
Anything like
people.
James
This is
Bond.
the same.
I mean, people flipped out when Daniel Craig was announced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People were mad when Daniel Craig was announced because they're like, he doesn't look anything like James.
He wore a life vest.
But I think if you get that original sketch that Ian Fleming had done of his ideal, the version of James Bond he saw in his head when he wrote the books,
Got the scar,
got the widow's peak, and etc. And you de-age that, he would look a lot like this.
I think if he had darker hair, maybe that would...
People are saying Nathan Drake, they're saying Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But I think he's just a young... Like, all young men look the same.
All young men do look the same.
Yeah.
My daughter had a birthday party. I'm looking at all these little kids running around, all these brown-haired boys.
Yeah.
I can't fucking tell them apart.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
And yet...
I'm like, whose kid is this? I don't care.
Blonde-haired men should be in jail.
Agreed. Why are you still blonde as an adult?
Yeah, what's going on
Who told
there?
you could do this?
Yeah, go directly.
I dare you to email in.
Yeah, that's right.
I fucking dare you.
But anyway, there's a moment where he's leaving a cargo plane. He does a little smirk, and I'm like, that feels very James Bond.
You got it? You're on it?
If you look at this character,
I'm looking at him.
I feel like if you go, the reason he acts the way he does is because he was boyishly handsome in his youth, and he still thinks he can get away with it. Stuff.
Okay, yeah.
This works.
I mean, he's still man handsome when he becomes a man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But also, isn't the idea of him in the comic, he's not super... In the book, he's not super handsome. He's kind of indistinct,
Yeah, mostly. And he dresses kind of into... Like, he dresses like everybody else. That's why he's... But anyway, so here's some facts. This is from Shinobi602 on Twitter, who's got all the facts here.
Let me tell you this. I know all these facts already, so we can probably skip this section.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway. You can edit it out. Or you can go to the next time code.
Collings edit this out.
Go to the time code where it says Maso finally stops talking. And everyone cheers. PS5 Pro enhanced, 60 frames per second in quality mode.
Great.
Sounds good to me. I don't understand.
Quality mode?
It's a reimagined James Bond origin story, events that lead an audacious young hero to become the best MI6 agent. He's the youngest version of the Bond franchise so far. He's supposed to be 26.
Yep.
You start as
What's Craig? What would he supposed to be, like early 30s?
He's supposed to be 30... how old was he in real life?
I reckon he would have been 34.
35, something like that. Yeah. But again, a lot of people have done the maths and they're like, he couldn't have been... Like if you go, okay, they were in the Navy for this amount of time and then he joined the Special Boat Service and blah, blah, blah. He'd have to be a certain age, but whatever.
Craig was born in 68, which means he would have been, 30?
40.
Well, he was 40 in 2008. And
yeah.
Casino Royale was 2006. So it would have been 38.
Yeah, okay, great. You start the game as a Navy air crewman, followed by an act of bravery that propels him to MI6's 00 training program. So there you go. A mission to stop a rogue agent going wrong. I think it's 009. I think this is a GoldenEye style situation.
GoldenEye!
The way you approach missions is entirely up to you because this is IO Interactive, so it's Hitman games.
That I like.
I think it seems to be you've got your option, you can sneak and etc. But there seems to be
Is there a kill everyone option?
Yeah, it seems that way. I think they've enhanced the. Do you remember Hitman Absolution? Everybody else hates that one, but I quite liked it because you could just turn it into a shooter at any moment. You could just be like, I'm going to go loud. I've got all these guns.
Yeah,
here we go, and I quite like that. Yeah, we get it. We've got a new M, a new Moneypenny, a new. You know, all those guys.
All the people running around.
Looks pretty good. One guy I like to see in this, Greenway, who I think is supposed to be the head of the 00 program.
Is that the dude from The Walking Dead?
Yeah, it's Lenny James. So I always like to see in stuff.
He's in Snatch.
Yeah, he's in Snatch. He's Sol in Snatch.
You told me that.
He's the bloke. No, he's the bloke where somebody offers him a job and he's like, I already got a job. And like, remember that guy?
No.
But he's in The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Line of Duty, I think.
And Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. Good stuff.
Yeah. They give James Bond the vertical limit origin.
I mean, that's always been his origin.
Yeah, but the vertical limit did it first.
Good point, actually. That's actually
where
a great
his parents
point.
cut the rope and died.
You mentioned he's got 007 vision. So
yes, he does.
How else would you do it?
You couldn't. I mean? There's no other way to do it.
There's no other way to do it. Anything else?
It's out next year?
Yeah.
Very excited.
I'm excited too. It's also, I noticed it's sort of very heavily on Her Majesty's Secret Service oriented, this trailer. Because you hear the theme song.
The car, maybe?
Yeah, at one point it's tough I find it hard to tell these cars apart from this era, but
I know all about them.
Okay, it looks a lot like he's driving a DBS, which is the car that Lazenby drives in on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes.
But he's chasing a modern Aston Martin in that sequence. So I think he's chasing 009.
Ooh.
Yeah, who might be a lady.
How do you feel about being a modern setting?
I like it.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mason. Is that all the trailer news?
I think that's all the trailer news.
Great.
Okay. I think On Her Majesty's Secret Service as a theme is arguably better.
It's
than
one of the better
theme.
ones, isn't it?
I think it's maybe the best one.
How old was Lazenby? He was pretty young when he played Bond, wasn't he?
No idea.
Let me check.
Okay.
29. There you go. Mm-hmm. Which is older than this guy, I guess.
Yeah. We just got some as well. We got some flashes of whoever might be like that because you need a Jaws, you need a guy, you need a metal thumbs guy or whatever. There's a guy in a sort of Golden Devil mask or something. You reckon that's the guy? Golden Devil man, sex bomb. You're a sex bomb.
You might be. Anyway, here we fucking go. Black Panther news.
Also, side note, folks, he's written that down.
I
saw his notes earlier. You wrote it down. You wrote that down.
I wrote all of my things down, all my
riffs.
thoughts.
You wrote all your riffs
It's not
down.
a riff, Mason. It's just
a
to remind me to say, here we fucking go.
All right.
So Marvel Knights is currently doing a new Black Panther series. It's 6 issues by Christopher Priest.
Okay. You might know him from Quantum and Woody.
Yeah, I love Quantum and Woody.
Do you remember Quantum and
Woody?
Woody?
I've read that a lot of that.
Yeah.
So in this story, it appears that it's sometime in the future. So it's somewhat of a different universe. What if? Or maybe they'll fold this into the main line at some point. But the old T'Challa, the Black Panther, dies, and he is replaced by someone called Kitama, who is white. Now that might be his son, or which we don't know. We don't really know. It could be he could be adopted. He could be mixed race. We don't know. It's only the single issue who's been out, and of course various portions of the internet have opinions on it. And I don't know. I'm not honestly. This doesn't upset me. I think it's also depends in I'd imagine Christopher Priest has something compelling to say about this, his character and race. And I don't know. I don't know specifically what he's going to do with it. I'm not saying it won't be bad. It could be bad. It could be really bad. But, it certainly is a big swing. What do you think?
I think it absolutely is. Man, people should check out, if people haven't checked out Christopher Priest, just his bibliography generally. He did a Black Panther series, I think, in the 90s, which was very good.
Oh, okay.
It's the one where Black Panther beats up Mephisto.
Oh, you love that one? That's your favorite one, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
He did the 1990s run on The Ray, which is a DC hero. He's the son of the original The Ray. Wow. That one's really good.
Ray Romano.
Yeah, Ray Romano. He did Triumph, which is a series about
the insult comic dog.
No, it's a different Triumph. He's a guy who was in the original lineup. In the storyline, he was in the original Justice League lineup, but there was a time issue, like a timeline thing, and he gets dumped out of it, and then everybody forgets who he is, and then he comes back into the universe, and he's like, "Man, this sucks.
Yeah,
I wish that didn't happen.
I wish I was real."
Yeah. Oh, he did Zero.
Which one's that?
He was like a
He's been here a while. He's like early 60s.
Yeah. But he's done great stuff. He did Zero was about a hitman style hitman. He was like a super hitman, but he switched races.
Oh, okay.
So he was in when he was in superhero assassin mode. He
Yeah.
was white, but in his real life he was black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I wonder if that's in trade paperback. I'm gonna find it.
I'm not going to find anything. Well, you
No,
better
no,
do
you
it before this show goes out.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
otherwise
did the
everyone's gonna-
Turok Shadow Man one shot.
Turok. He's got a crossbow and a bow and arrow. It's dinosaur time.
Great stuff. But if people should check out Quantum of Woody. It's really
People
good.
should check out Black Panther is white now.
They should.
That's what they're calling it.
What if there's an interview they release it and he's just Black Panther's just a white guy and Christopher Reese is like,
He's white.
Just thought it'd be funny.
It's pretty funny.
There's
though.
nothing behind this. I just thought it'd be funny.
I don't have any ideas.
Yeah.
I only wrote this issue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did it on a bet.
But I won. I said, if I win this bet, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
All right, Ed Mason.
Yeah.
Mason. This is
Yeah,
the last bit of news via THR. Now, the rumor is, the story goes,
Yes.
the scuttlebutt in the industry is that Kathleen Kennedy, head of Lucasfilm, which includes Indiana Jones, which includes Star Wars,
true.
which includes Day of the Tentacle, probably. She's
The sequel to Maniac Mansion.
correct.
Wow.
She's stepping away from head of Lucasfilm after, what would that make it, 13 years?
I don't
Maybe
know.
of her being.
I don't know, man.
2012 it was announced there were new
Okay,
Star Wars
right,
movies. I don't
right.
know when she
Right.
came along specifically. Which makes sense. Is she being pushed out? Doesn't seem that way. I think her time is just done. She's mid to late 60s now. She's been doing this forever. She started as Spielberg's assistant and produced a bunch of
She's
films.
made a lot of money
in the 80s
for
and 90s.
Lucasfilm, yeah.
Frank Marshall is her husband, and that's
correct.
true.
That is true.
She worked on Congo with Frank Marshall.
That's true.
Great movie.
Is this going to affect the release of the sequel to Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders?
Do you think it would or can't or will?
I think it might.
And it might.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to see that sequel.
Anyway.
Because that game came out in 1985 or whatever.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Someone will make a fan one or whatever, but it won't be as good and I won't play it. And I didn't play the original. So people are saying, well, who's going to step into Lucasfilm?
Us.
Who has the stones?
We've
other
got
than
the
us?
stones.
Yeah, but
Collectively, we've got the stones.
That's true.
You know?
We have 3 stones.
That's right.
You figure it out.
Yeah. Right in. We dare you.
We should figure it out, actually. Because it's an impossible job. Whoever is doing this, you're not going to know what they've put into place for years.
Yeah.
And it'll be a mixed bag, as it always is. Hopefully it's more good than bad, but we'll see. Anyways, some of the names that have been floated this week via THR is Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck. Of course, Dave Filoni is responsible for Cowboy Hat Star Wars.
So Ahsoka,
Yes.
for example,
Mandalorian, some of that with Favreau.
not Andor,
Rebels, Clone Wars.
not Andor.
Not Andor, exactly.
Cannot stress this enough. Not Andor.
Well, actually, because one Disney insider was quoted as saying, he's not the Andor guy, he's the Ahsoka guy. That's a pretty fucking...
Brutal.
I mean, it's the truth.
It is very
but
much the truth.
that's a loaded statement.
It's very loaded. It's loaded like one of those corn chip cowboy hats
Oh, yeah.
with salsa in it.
Have you ever had
That's
one of
how
those?
loaded it is.
Can't you just have it in a bowl? Why you got it in a hat?
For rock and roll reasons, man.
Yes, it is for rock and roll reasons. If you were at a rock and roll concert and you wanted your hands free for rocking and rolling.
That's right.
Uh,
Or being on the mechanical board.
Yeah. Carrie Beck is the current Vice President of Animation and Live Action Development at Lucasfilm.
Okay, if
she
you
also
say so.
co-created Star Wars Rebels. She and Filoni have also served as producers and executive producers on a variety of Star Wars projects over the years.
If you say so.
There are concerns that Filoni potentially will take the series into a more dense mythology kind of way.
Love that.
As well.
Love more lore.
Me too. More lore, impenetrable lore, and the time travel room tree.
Yeah, that's right.
As well as concerns that neither have had any experience in the film world. So yeah, that is genuinely concerning. But then again, not everybody loved what Kathleen Kennedy did.
And also, you can learn by doing.
Yeah, you can learn by doing it, but she has a background in producing. Also, I think Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars output was a mixed bag, like all Star Wars.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
all entertainment.
Yeah. So I don't know about this. Is it good? I don't fucking know. Well, is it even true? We don't know yet. What do you think?
How many times has this been reported in the last
It seems pretty,
5 years?
Seems pretty. That she's going to leave.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's real.
All right, great.
I think these two are like they make sense. It's the Gunn Safran method that they did at Warner Brothers.
What about this? Frank Marshall.
Oh yeah. How old's he now?
I don't know.
He's a Congo. Yeah, it's a good movie.
And then Kathleen Kennedy could be his assistant.
That's a good point. That's not what she's always wanted.
That's right.
Yeah. So for those people, I don't know if you're listening to this, you probably do, but the DCU, which is the new DC universe, James Gunn initially didn't want to run that because he's more of a creative person. But Peter Safran came on board. Also, they're doing it together, so he does work more on the producer side and the wheelings and dealings.
That's
and
right.
Presumably budgetary or whatever a producer does. And James Gunn goes, "I'm going to put Superman in underwear."
Sure.
And that's all he does.
That's right.
That's his one input.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a dog in a movie.
Then he goes on holiday.
Then he goes on holiday. He's on holiday right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's probably on that island.
He's probably on that island.
That Chris Hemsworth's on.
He's on that. I was there too, wasn't I?
You said, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't believe me.
I did.
Yeah, you never doubted me for a second.
That's right.
What a weird thing to make up. We'll see.
Yep.
Do you have anyone else in mind that you want for this? I know you don't.
No, I don't. No. No. Oh, we didn't mention this, but the board of Warner Brothers. I don't know if you have.
Oh, fuck yeah! I've meant to put this in. Let's do this.
Okay, so you'll.
I love this.
I'm sure you'll find the link, but the voting shareholders of Warner Brothers symbolically voted down David Zazslav, Normal Man's extensive pay package for this year.
$52 million.
That doesn't mean he doesn't get it. He still does get it. But they were like, we don't
he
like
still
this.
gets it.
Yeah, he still gets
that.
it. Yeah, it's a symbolic vote, ultimately.
Great.
Because what is it? Because this is the vote of like it's like a billion shares that are out there.
Yeah.
And everybody who can be bothered can vote on this. But it's like some people own 10 shares in Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Whatever. So they can't actually do anything. If one guy owned 500 million shares, he could probably force this. But that's David Zaslav. So,
exactly. Also, like, he's already impossibly rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't need...
Like, he earned like $49 million last year.
Yeah, exactly. God, here we go. Yeah. Given the shit I was voting, it's been, conversation. Great. Well, it's funny that... It's funny that people are like, you suck.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he ultimately would... I guess he would care about the money. It wouldn't affect him whether he has the money or not.
It wouldn't, but he would... I think that would...
That would sting a little bit.
Because he has billionaire's disease, probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I wish I had that disease.
Yeah, me too.
As opposed to all the other diseases I have.
Right? You got so many diseases.
It's true. Should we move along?
Let's move it along.
I'm ready.
Move it along.
Moving it along.
We're moving along.
From the world of John Wick, Ballerina. It's the new John Wick spin-off movie, the 5th in the franchise.
That's right.
Well, I guess 6th if you count the TV show, which I don't.
Interesting.
Because I haven't seen it and it's bad. And I do want to talk about it at the end.
Okay, all right.
You've seen some of it, haven't you?
I've seen some of it, yeah.
And it's not that good, is it?
It's all right.
Yeah, that's TV for you.
Yeah.
On a budget of $80 to $90 million,
Oh, yes.
it looks like it's going to open in the US higher than the original John Wick, which was about $14 million.
Right.
But lower,
For back in the older times.
Exactly. Also, John Wick didn't cost $80 to $90 million. And around John Wick 2, which was, I think, about 30.
Okay.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
And in general, people seem to be like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
What do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
I'm ready for you to tell me.
All right. Okay.
Remember John Wick 3?
It's after that.
That's during
But do you
that.
remember John Wick 4?
Yes.
It's before that.
Yeah, because he died in that one.
So maybe.
No, he didn't, because they're making 5. They've talked about
Yeah,
it.
but maybe he's in hell. We don't know yet.
Could be in hell.
Anyway, there's a little girl.
Yep.
And she's like, man, I love
My dad.
my dad, who's Diego from the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, man.
And I love living a completely normal life in this weird house.
These are the two things that I love.
It's just weird and dark. It's all stained glass and stuff. But I love
Yeah,
it.
and it's like a big
normal.
castle or whatever.
But anyway, then some people show up to kill my dad.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it. They got X's on
It's
their wrists.
Gabriel Byrne.
It is Gabriel
And he
Byrne.
goes, you betrayed the thing that I'm doing.
Yeah, you've betrayed one of the weird cults and organizations and religions in the John Wick universe.
And that's bad. And
That's
people
bad.
are like, well, this is a bad organization. It's worse than the others. Why? Why is it worse?
know,
Why
man.
is it different?
We're going to talk. Well, I'm sure we talk about this every time, but when we get to the end, I want to discuss the logistics of the John Wick universe again.
Yeah, sure.
But then he's spoilers. He's killed,
Yeah.
and then she escapes somehow. And then she's like, and then who is it? It's bloody Ian McShane, isn't it? And
He
he's
goes,
like,
I'm your father's friend.
that's right. Would you want to be?
Do you want to hang out with Angelica Houston?
She was in the Addams Family,
She was in the Addams Family.
not the new one, but the old.
Not the new one.
from
The old. She's
90s.
Witches also. I don't know if you saw it. Not the new one, the old
Not
one.
the old one. Anyway, she's great, but she's mean.
Yeah, she's mean.
Anyway, do you wanna-
She make you dance and learn karate.
Do you like either of those things? Because you'll have to do both. Even if you only like one of the things, you're gonna have to do both. But spoiler, you won't like either of them.
No, this is like family to you now.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's the family that sucks and is mean to you.
Do you want a back tattoo in Old English? You're gonna have to get one. They all have them. It's inescapable.
Do you want to meet John Wick and then maybe have a John Wick fight later with John Wick? You gotta have to.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Yeah. We wanted to keep that a secret, but it's important for the marketing. He's in this.
He's in it a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, then she becomes Ana de Armas.
Yep. And she goes, I want revenge.
Yeah.
On this thing that
Well,
happened.
first you've got to do John Wick style assassinations.
Yep.
So do that.
Yep. There's hotel stuff. There's coin stuff.
There's coin
Hand
stuff.
a coin to another person.
That's right.
What's that coin worth? Honor or literal currency? I don't
know, because repeatedly in this movie, people get paid in real currency.
Yeah.
At least on their phones they do.
They do. It goes bing, $200 million.
And
Bing.
you're like, not bad.
Pretty good for
Not
a day's
bad.
work.
Not bad. Should I retire on this and enjoy normal life? Nope. I'll just keep karate. I'll keep bloody katanaing people until I get katanaed myself.
Correct.
In a neon-soaked hotel room.
Hell yeah.
And then I'll just die. And I guess my money will just sit in a bank account?
Because the John Wick universe is supposed to be in like the regular world, but there's this undercurrent of like madness and insanity. I feel like
that is all encompassing.
Yes,
because I've said this before. But
everybody's in on it.
Everybody. Well, that's the thing.
I'm not in on it.
I said this when I talked about it before, which I did enjoy a lot. But John Wick's the guy you send to kill the president. And there's like thousands of John Wicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he's a cut above, but everybody else is still pretty.
Yeah.
Who are they killing? Each other, it seems.
Absolutely, because one betrays the other one in a hotel, which you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Unless you got the right coin, which you don't.
That's right. There's a moment in this.
Yeah.
It is at the end, but I don't think this is a spoiler.
Nothing matters, nothing's real.
Exactly. Ana de Armas is somewhere, and a contract comes up on her phone.
Bing.
And she's at the opera. And then like 4 other people at the opera.
They're all there.
Their phones go off. How many people are there? How many of these assassins are there?
I think it's because they're all in those neon rooms. I think like if you went to a regular room, there probably wouldn't be anybody in there.
Oh, yeah. The opera is sort of...
I mean, that's where they're going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess because not normal people don't go to the opera. It's expensive.
Yeah.
You only go to
boring.
Yeah, you only go to the opera if you just got paid $700,000 for an assassination.
Dude,
and
that'd
you're
be
like,
sick.
Exactly. And you're like, well, I better be in a boring symbolic room.
Yeah.
The opera? Perfect.
Do you reckon they all have billionaire's disease? That's why they keep
Yeah, maybe.
shooting each other and going.
Except you can't quit because of honor and sacrifice, and you've made a vow to a weird religion or a...
They might burn your back tattoo off, which means something or nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, Len Wiseman directed this.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No,
I went
he
into
didn't.
this. Yes, he did. I went into this, and I'm like, I don't want to know who directed it. Like, I don't want to know anything ahead of time because I don't want that to be, I don't want that to color my associations. Because I knew Chad Stahelski didn't direct this, who directed
Yes,
or
he
co-directed most of them.
Yes, he did.
But anyway, Len Wiseman directed this.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, I mean, he technically did, his name's on it.
Oh, what are you saying?
They began filming it in November 2022.
Okay.
And there were rumors, and we talked about it, how that like it wasn't coming together. And
I
so
forgot
a
about
lot
this.
of this is reshoot. So in February 2024...
Is it Chad Stahelski then?
Chad Stahelski was working on additional action sequences for the film. And then The Wrap reported that Stahelski oversaw 2 or 3 months of reshoots.
Okay.
Refilming the majority of the movie with Wiseman not present on set. And this is also 125 minutes. It's pretty fucking short.
It is short.
It's like
So what I would say is when the
125 minutes?
Yeah.
Or an hour
when the
25.
movie ended and it said directed by Len Wiseman, I went, huh.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I cannot believe Len Wiseman directed this. Because he, of course, directed the Underworld movies.
Yeah.
He's directed some movies. Not as many as you'd think.
It's an hour 29, not 129 minutes.
Okay, right.
Say, yeah.
Len Wiseman directed, allegedly.
Yeah.
He directed the Underworld movies, Live Free or Die Hard, which is the 2007
I don't
one.
mind that one. It's all right.
And Total Recall, the reboot version.
Yeah.
But I'm like...
I mean, I don't know
pretty
how
good.
much of this is actually him.
Yeah. I think the action's generally very good. I think the script could do with some work.
I mean, you know what? It felt to me like this is like a John Wick 1 kind of scenario where it feels a bit back to basics in terms of narrative, I guess.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It's more of a straight through
But
line.
it does have the John Wick 2 through 4 weirdness to it.
Yes,
where
that
everybody's
is
in on...
good point.
Very much everybody is in on
Everybody's looking at their phone and going, "Ooh, $200 million. Wouldn't mind if I did. Wouldn't mind." And also, this is actually a recast of the Eve character.
Eve.
Yeah, because Unity Phelan played her in John Wick Chapter 3. You see a ballerina who's supposed to be her.
Oh.
Because there's a scene in this where John Wick visits where he's from and she's from.
Yes.
And that overlaps in John Wick 3 and this. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so...
Nobody else does, but I do.
Nobody knows what's happening. So Ana de Armas... Well, apparently Unity Phelan is an actual ballerina. So that's so they're like, well, we need someone who can... do acting and not just ballerinaing. Yeah, so that's interesting.
But anyway.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I mean, the key to this is the action. Is it good? I think generally
Pretty
it's very good.
I liked this. I honestly, I didn't read any reviews. I wasn't expecting much out of it.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty solid.
And it's pointed out in an early sequence in this movie that, you know, you might be like, Ana de Armas, she seems quite petite.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that? And the idea is...
Women can't beat up men.
Yeah.
That's what you said in the
I did say
cinema.
that. I did say that.
Yeah.
And they address that. They're like, well, yeah, she's always going to be kind of smaller than everybody else, and they're going to be stronger, so she sort of has to improvise. So she does get like, you know, whenever it becomes a hand-to-hand fight, whoever she's fighting will often get the advantage over her. She gets thrown through windows and out through into walls and across tables.
I think it's interesting that they don't only say it at the start, that like you can't fight like everybody else because you're smaller. They actually implement that into the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like something they say and then
she's like...
And then she's just whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's all a lot of improv and grabbing things around you and...
Like at times I question... how resilient anyone would be after she receives the punishment she does throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But like if you can buy into that, for the most part, you can sort of believe in it. Like she'll scrap until she can find a hammer or something.
Yeah.
And then she'll hammer a guy's face in or, you know, that kind of thing. Or she'll find a fire axe and she'll hurl it across the room or whatever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. This is also the last appearance of Lance Reddick, just not in this series, but also ever. It's his final role.
Yeah.
When I was looking at this, I'm like, is this real? Is this archival footage that they've kind of cut together? But no, he did actually. And again, it was, he probably could have filmed his parts in 2022, I assume, before he passed. But
you know that one. You know what that means, James? There needs to be another concierge.
It's true. Did they blow up? Oh, okay. Do you want me to talk to
I'm gonna
Len Wiseman?
Yeah, if you could talk to Len Wiseman, give him this tape. I'll do.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wick. Hello, Mr. Wick.
Lance Reddick doesn't do a...
No, I'm a new guy.
Yeah,
I'm not being...
but like, it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like you doing an accent.
That is what it is. It's me doing a stupid accent.
That's what I mean. It's like acting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wick, and welcome to the Continental in this Eastern European country that is made up entirely of neon statues of Mary Magdalene. I will be your concierge, and I will betray you as soon as your back is turned. Look, I'm doing it right now. I push the button.
Wait,
I push the button.
Whoa.
Mr. Wick, please. I push the button. I summon 6 very large men. You headshot them immediately. I feel bad for their families, but it's hotel policy. I push the button.
Wait a minute. That's not replacing Lance Reddick, because Lance Reddick worked with Ian McShane.
Yeah, but I'm going to be the new guy, and I'm going to portray him. He's going to go to like Poland or whatever.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah, he's going to go to Yugoslavia. Yeah.
Which is a real place. Yeah.
But then when I get, Mr. Wick, you're going to hit me in the head with my desk telephone. Like the Russell Crowe.
Like the Russell.
Like the Russell Crowe.
He would.
But then I show up his brother.
Yes.
And then I'm at the Continental in New York.
Oh, okay. That's very...
Yeah.
Oh, twins. But you
twins.
don't have an accent?
No, I'm just me. I'm just
regular.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter because it's the John Wick universe.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Everyone's on a telephone. Yeah. Calling an old school telephone and put me through to the whatever. Put me through to it.
Hello, Mr. Wick.
There's...
See, it's growing on you, isn't it?
I don't like it.
No, you're
saying it's growing on me. I'm telling you it's not. You can't force it on me, okay? I don't like it. I don't want it.
What if he comes back in subsequent weeks? I think you'll enjoy him.
Well, maybe. But at the moment, I don't like it. And I like him less than when you started.
Interesting.
Mason.
Well, goodbye for now, Mr. Sunday Movies. I see you later.
No. I think that there's some unique action sequences in this that's not just guns and karate. There's a sequence where she clears an area just using grenades.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, that would be a good video game level.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, you escape something and then you've only got grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot.
Because she visits one of the...
Ana de Armas dealer.
Oh, very good.
Very good, Mr. Wick.
Very good. Very good.
Wait,
Mr.
let me try. Very good, Mr. Wick. Oh, I can see myself doing
It's
this.
appealing, isn't it?
No, I can see me doing it.
That's fine, as long as one of us gets to do it.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun.
And they sort of turn it on its head in that it's kind of he gets half the way through his pitch.
Yeah.
And then the
Boom.
The sacred space of the gun shop is invaded by some goons, and she has to shoot her way out.
I mean,
or grenade her way
there's
out.
no sacred spaces in this. Oh, there's also a little girl in this who's like her. And Norman Reedus is there, and he's like, what are you
Norman
doing
Reedus
here?
is there.
And it's interesting that Norman Reedus didn't shoot her straight away when she came into the room.
That's true, actually.
But I guess maybe they're in the secret hotel.
That's true.
I don't know.
Rules are rules.
There's also flamethrower action sequences, which is good. I think one of my favorite stuff, I think, is from the last one, 4.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Dragon Breath shotgun, and there's the stair fight.
Yeah.
I think those are my favorites in general.
Mm-hmm.
But these, if you put these in a John Wick movie, I think that would fit right in. I think they're very solid.
Yeah. There's an opening sequence in this, or an early one where her first mission is to go to a nightclub, and she has to escort a woman out of the nightclub, and she's only got rubber bullets, and it's kind of like, and I enjoyed that a lot because it's kind of like she's doing her best. She's quite skilled, but she's only got rubber bullets, and there's a lot of guys, and they're all stronger than her.
Yeah,
so she's getting thrown about and stuff.
Yeah,
it's good. She's
and you
doing
see her
good
kind
work.
of get her confidence even in that sequence of
I will say though that then it cuts to 2 months later, and now she's like the most elite assassin.
Yeah, he probably could have done with a few years in between. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's also a cult town. Just cult members.
Should we say that to spoilers?
Let's do some spoilers.
Okay, well, I'm going to say best movie ever.
I'll say best movie ever. I would say I probably enjoyed this more than 3.
Yeah.
That was when this whole thing waned for me. But I quite like this. I also think the pace, keeping it this short, was good.
Yeah, great.
I think when I saw the runtime for John Wick 4, I was like, that's too fucking long. But it works. It's great.
Anyway, time for big spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, she goes to this town.
Mm-hmm. Where she's from.
Where she's from.
And the guy from the Umbrella Academy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Diego. I'm going to look that guy's name up. He was good, I think.
I thought he was great.
I don't know how much...
He did some good John Wicking.
I was going to say, I don't know how much of that was him and how much of that was Stuntman.
Yeah.
But good stuff. But yeah, so it's a town. It's kind of like a charming... Ooh. It's kind of a charming sort of German town, sort of like, You know what I'm talking about.
It's a German
very
town.
pom. You know what I mean?
Pom.
Yeah. A bit of that. But then it turns out everybody there is a lunatic, a gun-toting cult lunatic, and I thought that was fun. I liked the idea that she goes to the cafe and she orders a drink, and then the one guy comes in, and she fights him, and then she's like, I'm not going to hurt you. She goes to the waitress, I'm not going to hurt you. But then it turned out the waitress is in on it, and then everybody is there, is in on it, and everybody's got a gun. I thought that was fun.
His name is David
Castaneda.
Yeah, he's great.
Great.
Good hair.
I agree. I will say this. Also, he's got great hair. I think John Wick needs a new do.
I mean, in this one, he had to have the hair from 3.
Yeah.
So you think he needs to?
He needs more body. No, it needs more body.
It was very flat.
Yeah, it's not
very flat and oily.
Give him the Diego hair.
Yeah,
he can do. I reckon he can do that.
Fluff it up a bit.
I don't know if maybe his age means he can't do that as well anymore, but you can
bit of voluming.
That's what I'm saying.
Powder in there or
That's
whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I think
give him a wig. John Wig.
John Wig.
Do you think they should have called this John Chick or John Girl?
No. I don't think
I just think those are better names.
Interesting.
And I think they're good names and they sell what this is.
I would say that the title card just says Ballerina, but clearly they're for marketing purposes.
Whatever.
From the world of John Wick, Colin.
I don't think John Chick is a good name either.
It's interesting you said that.
I saw it somewhere.
It's interesting you backpedaled so soon.
Yuck and no thank you.
Okay.
What was I going to say? So Keanu Reeves turns up in this a couple of times. And they have an action sequence together. And what I also liked about that, and I guess it also would stop people complaining, is that he's clearly much more skilled than her. Like, he's not even trying.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing this way longer, and he's the best one.
Yeah. And his suit's bulletproof.
Yeah, and his suit's bulletproof. And
nobody else in this has a bulletproof suit.
No, and
they
he's
should
not
have.
currently injured at this point.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Depending on where he went and if he got his finger cut off.
Yeah, true.
John Wick 3 or whatever. But I think their interaction is good because also, he understands her because they have a similar upbringing. They're both revenge, etc., and whatever.
Yeah. And so he is sent by Angelica Houston to solve this problem by killing Ana de Armas. But they have a conversation. He's like, I'm going to give you. He's been given till midnight to kill her. And he's like, I'm going to give you till midnight to solve your personal issues.
Or I'm coming in hot.
And then I'm going to kill you.
I'm coming in hot.
And that's what he says. That's his classic catchphrase.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
John Wick and I'm coming in hot. Look out.
Yeah, and I think it was just... was it when Gabriel Byrne, what was it? Yeah, when he books it, when he's like, we've lost John Wick. And they're like, well, let's get out of here. John Wick's loose. That's it. That thing happened?
Sure.
Was that him?
No,
that
they said we lost John Wick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
we lost track of John Wick.
Yeah.
Which you never want to do.
No, you don't. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to happen.
I mean, he
but,
wasn't there to kill weird cult people initially.
No.
But,
Yeah.
You know what he's like, Mason.
I do. It's true.
Yeah, she kills everyone.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it's the similar thing to the first John Wick where it's like she's excommunicated and on the run, etc. and all of that. Yeah, I think they could definitely do a sequel to this or fold her into another John Wick movie. It reminded me also of, I think you could... she has a really brief sequence in the last Bond movie.
Yeah, as Paloma.
And that's great.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of that. So you could do something like that in a John Wick in addition to giving her another movie or
Agreed.
or whatever.
Or whatever.
Do you want to talk about what's next for the future of the John Wick franchise? Or
Yes.
are there any more things you want to say about, what did you call it? John Girl?
I didn't say that.
Okay, cool. I just don't think that's okay
Yeah.
that you've said that.
I called it Girl Wick. And then we called it Girl Girl. That's how this
right,
always
yeah.
goes.
It's a good joke.
It's a movie called Girl Girl.
And the future of this, they talked about John Wick 5. Chad Stahelski said to THR, so there's a Donnie
Ballerina-ette.
Oh, like a ballerina, but a girl.
But a girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Ballerina-ette.
Miss Ballerina-ette. That's good.
Yeah.
The Donnie Yen spin-off doesn't have the John Wick character, so we've got that coming.
yeah.
It's Donnie Yen, and it's an ode to Kung Fu movies. It's John Wick 1. If John Wick 1 was Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin, this is Chow Yun-Fat, John Woo, and Wong Kar-wai.
Oh, in the mood for love.
Yeah, so there you go. That could be interesting. On John Wick 5, he said, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a bit of a conundrum. Me and Mike Finch, the writer on 4, who's also writing 5, we've got a pretty good story that I think is cool. Once we have the 50-page book, and if we're feeling it, we'll sit with Keanu and shape this thing. Look, everybody seems to want it. It's a matter of whether we crack it. We're actively working on it. It's just, is this going to be satisfying? That's a good way to look at this.
Agreed.
And he talked about The Continental.
Oh, yes.
He said
the TV series The Continental.
Yeah, so that's set in the 70s?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's about a young Winston
Yes.
running the Continental, which
That's
exploded maybe in one of the movies.
Maybe.
He said, Keanu and I wouldn't say sidelined, but our opinion was heard and not really noted. The studio tried to convince me they knew what they were doing. A group of individuals thought they had the magic sauce, but if you take out Basil Iwan...
Basil from Faulty Towers.
Producing initiatives. If you take out Keanu's way of delivering quirky dialogue, and if you take out the visuals over my head from Wong Kar-wai.
From the world of John Wick, Faulty Towers.
That's good.
Yeah,
Very good.
Thank you. Just think about it. We don't have to make any more jokes. Just think about it and go, that would be fun.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's not the same thing. They thought it was easy as using an anamorphic lens, do a kooky hotel, put in weird dialogue, and insert crime drama. That's interesting.
That's
yeah,
what
it's
they
not
did.
just a franchise. Yeah, you can... Yeah, they said that there's a very specific way that they make these, and it might not be like a
With
straightforward
cameras and actors.
and whatever. But even like developing it and whatever, like it evolves over time. I saw him saying that one action sequence they completely rewrote because they found like a room that or a venue that they
We
could
can do
use.
this in a room.
You can do it in this room right here. And they changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how they operate. Anyway, here's some reviews from people who watched it.
Oh, yes.
In the Great Mates group. Fidel Reyes.
Oh, I've heard of
who
him.
You know, he said, Girl was fun.
Interesting.
Oh, no, he said, fun fact, Ana de Armas means of arms, as in bearing arms weapons. She really is de Armas in this movie.
Whoa.
Nice.
More like Anna de Flamethrower.
Yeah. Anthony Dorsey says, thought the movie was dope. This franchise really doesn't miss.
Oh, like a
Right.
gun.
James Harrison says, great action movie. The creativity of the fight choreography just gets better and better in these movies.
Well, there's only one way to go, and that's down.
But he did say my only issue with this film is the story feels directionless. The movie is basically carried by Ana de Armas's charisma and action, but it's unclear what anyone's real motivations are aside from the pretty generic revenge plot. So yeah, there you go.
See, I agree. It's pretty generic.
Yep.
There's a great shot. It's just reminded me for whatever reason. There's the moment where she is. We don't see it, but she's cleaned out like a hotel room of guys, and then she goes out and she gets
Oh,
in the
yes.
car, and she goes to set off in the car, and then she gets T-boned in an
T-boned,
intersection,
yeah.
and then it just sort of tears her all the way
Yeah.
back down the alley. I thought that was a really good shot.
Yeah, fun and good.
And in retrospect, that does feel very Len Wiseman.
Len
Wiseman.
Len Wiseman.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Should we go out of here
With
to
our
the next
signature.
segment of the show?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Len Wiseman.
Len Wiseman. What is it though?
Oh, it's what we're reading.
Yep.
What we're going to read.
Yep. I'm doing the thing. This is a very important section of the show.
So true.
It's where we talk about things that we've been reading, watching, doing, or et ceteras.
Sure.
But in addition to that, we talk about things that we might watch.
That's so true,
But we
isn't
also
it?
might not.
Go on.
Like, you want to watch Karate Kid Legends.
I don't want to do
But
that.
you
no.
might not.
I
You might
definitely
watch
won't.
Wicked for Good. But
You
you
have-
might not.
no, I have
you have
to.
to ask for
I have
work.
to,
That's
yeah.
on November 21st, and you will
yeah,
watch it.
yeah.
You might watch Superman when it comes out
I
on July
definitely
11th.
will watch that, yeah.
But you might not, because you could die.
I could
between
die.
now and then.
Fingers
And
crossed.
there's no Superman in heaven. But there is in hell. You're going to make a decision.
That's right.
Yeah.
I get to decide once I die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what have you been doing?
I watched the first episode of Department Q.
Oh.
You heard of this? You heard of this?
What is it?
Hearing about this? It was on Netflix because I watched the movie Timeline because we had to. We were forced to watch it for the algorithm.
It was good.
It's not good.
It's bad.
the-
oh, this one. I know this one.
It's got
Yeah.
Matthew Good,
Matthew Good.
and it's your classic. It's a real what they call a sweater crime drama.
Who did it?
It's cold and sad, and it's about Matthew Good, and he's an abrasive police detective, and he got shot, and now he's back.
And he's not shot?
No, he was still shot.
Oh.
And he's been sort of banished to the basement to solve cold cases. And he's like, all right, and he's got a team of misfits, and he's like, I'm gonna do. It's a little bit slow horses.
Okay.
It's good
All
so
right.
far. It feels long though because it's.
Oh, you said the episodes are like over an hour or something?
They're somewhere between they're just under an hour to like slightly over an hour. So, and when you watch a show, when you've grown up watching shows that are an hour, but really they're like 40 minutes plus ads.
Yeah.
But this is just a full hour. You're
Like,
like,
what
you
is this,
kind of
a
feel it.
movie?
Yeah, what's this exactly? Is it a movie? I don't think it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, I will be watching Predator Killer of Killers. I was hoping
yeah,
I could
that's
watch
right.
it before this, but I
Did
didn't
you?
have time, unfortunately. No, but I will watch it. Apparently it's good. People seem to be enjoying it.
Hmm.
But I rewatched The Force Awakens.
Oh, yes. Why?
With a... Great question.
Oh, with your kids.
Well, yeah, because Claire booked tickets for The Force Awakens with a symphony orchestra. We took our oldest son, who had seen it before, but he'd never seen it in cinemas with a big
an orchestra. Sure.
I mean, it's an amazing score.
And he simply demanded that.
Yeah.
And luckily,
Yes.
you were able to provide that. Otherwise, he would have thrown a tantrum.
Correct.
One day he was like, I want to see
a big tantrum.
I want to see it
I'm
with an
just like
orchestra.
you. I'm awful. In a way, he is.
Now I want to see every movie with an orchestra. I want to see Minecraft with an orchestra. You've set up an orchestra outside.
That's correct. They are currently watching Minecraft as well. That is true. That's a real thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Good movie that you like.
I don't think so.
You think it's a bad movie that you don't like?
Correct, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to confirm that.
Oh, it's confirmed.
Yeah. But you know what? I just to come back to The Force Awakens 9 years after it came out.
Yes.
And we did an episode on it. There's a lot of it that is good, but there's a lot of stuff that's like, oh, it's fucking Death Star again. You could take this all out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's too fast, I think, for a lot of it.
But
There's
would you say in the shadow of Andor, would you say that, well, it actually makes sense that there is another Death Star again? Because
Yeah.
the machine keeps going, doesn't it? Adds an extra layer, doesn't it, James?
I guess it does. I would like an Andor season 3 where it's Andor's bones trying to find the plans to this Death Star or whatever.
Okay, all right.
I think it's still good.
How am I going to do this? I'm all bones.
I'm all bones now. Howdy, everybody. I'm Andor. I'm all bones. Remember we did that
Oh,
earlier?
yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, I could help you, Cassian Andor. Who is it? Somebody's got to be a guy. From another.
Oh, from another thing.
Yeah, what's it? Not just throwing another
I'm Poe
guy.
Dameron. I'm your son. We're twins.
Whoa.
I'm your son. We're twins.
Nice. Well, then I guess we're going to team up, Poe Dameron. Put her there, partner.
Nice.
Rogue 2.
Rogue 2.
And Andor 3.
And
Rogue 2, Andor 3.
so, I mean, it is what it is. It's a soft reboot.
Check.
And there's some really interesting characters and I think great performances. It also looks good,
It does look good.
but it's clearly going back. It's like they should have thought about this.
Nah, why would they have want to think
It's more the-
why would they think about one of the most important sequels of all time to one of the most beloved franchises of all time worth billions upon billions of dollars?
I mean,
why would they think about it for even a moment? They just go headlong into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there
Should
you
have
go.
bloody George Lucas's wife to edit it.
Well, maybe. It's pretty long.
Instead, they got whoever they did get
Whoever
to
they
edit
got it, whoever did
Well,
it.
J.J. Abrams did it.
J.J. Abrams was in
Probably
there.
did it.
Anyway, that's all.
Probably
I've been-
did it.
That's all I've been doing. Rewatching The Force Awakens.
That's great. Sounds good.
And I've been reading books, but I'll talk about them another week.
Books.
Yeah, I've been reading a few books.
Books.
I like books, and I look at them, and I know I can read, as we talked about.
That is true.
And I have confirmed. Anything else, or we move
Reading
to the next
confirmed.
segment?
I don't think I've watched anything else.
I started Tires, season 2. The Shane Gillis Show. It's on Netflix.
No.
It's in a tire shop.
Haven't
It's pretty
seen
funny.
that. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
It's real low key,
in my life.
which I like about it. Like shoestring budget.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
I don't know. Let me check. Maybe I'll watch something. Maybe I'll watch an essay on YouTube.
Oh. You can watch Caravan of Garbage on the movie Timeline. That's coming out this week.
True. No, I did. I watched more Poker Face though, so that's.
Is that because I haven't watched the first episode? Do you think it's? And I thought it was okay that first episode.
Right.
Did there better episodes?
I think it's all much of a much.
It's all
pretty
also,
good fun.
It was a good episode.
Yeah. I think it's just generally a bit of fun, you know.
Generally a bit of fun. Don't forget what's going on. Mason, should we do the next segment?
Let's do the next segment. It's called Letters.
The classic one was
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters will only a day away.
I'm going to hear right now. We're going to do letters.
Yeah, you got a big deal happening.
Do I?
Yeah. If
Do
you
I?
want to reach the show, it's simple. It's as simple as this. You send an email
Simple as chips.
to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Mason
true.
will read your email and then he'll read it to me. And then we'll answer whatever the email is.
So true.
We'll talk about that. Or
right.
get in the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group. Leave a letter in there. There's a thread every week that goes up before the episode. So, Mason, do you want to start? Or would you like
Absolutely.
me, Mr. Sunday Movies,
I'll do it. Here's an
creator
email-
of this podcast, to start?
I mean, allegedly.
Whose idea it was to
Who
start
can
a
even
podcast?
who can even prove it? Here's an email from Typo Go.
What?
Subject line: I think he looks tired.
Who?
James, Mr. Sunday Movies seems tired.
No, I
That's
don't.
what it says
Actually,
there.
I feel good and
Here's
refreshed.
an email from Taylor. Says James is tired.
No.
I agree. Yes, James does look tired.
I don't look tired.
Thanks for the pod, fellas. Been listening to you since 2018. Always gives me something to look forward to on a Monday. Thanks for the content.
I don't look tired.
Well, Philip has emailed in to say James looks tired.
When?
And then the body of the email just says he does. So, I mean, isn't it weird? I mean,
Can he see me?
Just all these people
Did
spontaneously.
these people see me?
I mean, it doesn't say, but I can only assume so. Why would they lie?
Yeah.
It's weird that all these people are spontaneously just emailing to say that you look tired.
You got any more?
I got to say, I would agree with them. That's all I have for now.
I don't think I do look tired. I think I'm always just running around.
Okay.
And that might be
So
why
you
I'm
look like a
fit,
You look fit,
puffed out,
puffed out. Okay, you look puffed out.
like a puffer fish. I'm
Wow.
all puffed out.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. What else, Mason?
Great. Do you want me to? I'll do another.
That
one.
was it?
I'll do another one. This is from Emily. Ballerina question.
Okay.
Emily
Lady
says,
Baller's question.
No,
you talked about
different-
it last week.
It's
really funny.
Emily says, hi, you asked on your last podcast if a Disney Channel movie existed where a ballerina has to transfer her skills
We
to something
did.
like basketball, and I wanted to let you know you've described the movie Go Figure, 2005, except it's about a figure skater transferring her skills to the sport of hockey.
Well, that's not the same then, is it? They also did that in Mighty Ducks 1 or
Wow.
2. Yeah.
I vaguely remember liking this movie a lot, but just discovered the tagline is she shoots, she scores, she accessorizes,
Nice.
which
That's cool.
which I dislike a lot. Anyway, poster attached.
Oh, I don't like it either then.
Okay. All right then.
I don't want to be sexist,
That's
Mason.
great. That's really good.
No, that's yeah.
Wow.
That's very Disney Channel original.
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely, yeah,
also, I don't know if people did hear us talk about Lady Ballers, but it's not really a good movie or funny.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
No. How much of that have you seen?
Nothing. Just people
Interesting.
show it like clips of it on
Wow.
YouTube or whatever. Where
Okay.
people are like, this sucks. I'm like, yeah, it is. This is none of these are jokes. Mason,
Go on.
This is from Simon, who says every character in Superman the movie is there for a reason, according to James Gunn.
Okay.
Do you think the reason Supergirl is there to? Do you think the reason Supergirl is there is to fly up the camera and say, "Hi, audience, don't forget to check out my movie next year," and then fly away? That is my guess, anyways. I think.
Is she there?
I don't know if she's going to be in it, but Crypto in this universe is Supergirl's dog.
I know.
and is
I
Superman's
know.
looking after her.
I know.
So I don't know. I think there will definitely
I
be.
wrote that.
You wrote that.
I wrote it.
Well, no, they should take that out.
Okay, yeah.
I
I still get paid though.
I don't think so.
I don't think I got paid at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you should.
I don't think I should either, but sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you think we'll actually see her, though?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and good.
Yep.
Got another one, Mason?
Here's an email. Boy, you're really getting a kicking this week.
I shouldn't be
This is
because
from Kenny.
I'm actually a nice person.
This is from Kenny,
And people who say they're nice people, they are.
and it says James's terrible recipe.
You did it wrong. You got the quantities
You
wrong,
don't even
man.
know what this is yet.
I know exactly what this is.
Yeah, what is it? Do you think?
It's the slow oats.
Wrong.
It's the pizza.
No, it's a different terrible recipe.
What the-
Hello, gents. Man whose wife calls you guys train of trash here. With James giving out culinary advice, I thought I would share this story from days of old. I've been with you since the beginning. I started listening at
Banana
your third
pancakes.
podcast. Close. Way back then, James dropped his first culinary gem, flourless pancakes. My wife loves to cook and bake, and I wanted to get her into your podcast, so I copied down the recipe and gave it to her. She was excited for the new recipe and tried it later that week. It was terrible. It didn't work at all and was a huge flop in my house. James made for himself a new enemy that day, and my wife has never really listened to you guys since. Fast forward to his recent oatmeal recipe. I told my wife about it. She just looked at me and stated that she didn't want any more of that guy's bad recipes. Mason, maybe if you have any recipes, I can get her to try yours. Keep up the good work, but don't go into cooking.
Okay, to be fair, they didn't try the second one, so you can't be like, that's a bad
true.
recipe, right?
Okay,
I don't even remember that first one.
Flourless pan. Seems like a joke.
You probably used an almond meal. I don't remember. I'm telling you, you did it wrong.
Flourless pancakes.
Did you
Did you recommend just putting flour and water in a pan and mixing it up?
No, that's not flourless.
Yeah, I know, right? Well,
what it's not every recipe you cook is you're gonna like either.
that's true.
You know?
Isn't it? Yeah, I'm on your side.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were, you wouldn't have read that out.
I had to for content.
There's lots of Jesse Newell who says, "What's a franchise that you'll watch, rewatch, even if every entry is terrible?"
I've watched most of
He
the.
said, "For me, it's the Alien franchise."
I've watched most of the Oceans movies multiple times, even though they're mostly not good. I haven't rewatched Oceans 8 recently. Just came on and was like, "Do you want to watch this?" I'm like, "I'll watch some of this."
Yeah,
It's fun, I guess.
fun, I guess.
Yeah.
It's me. It's the Jurassic Park, Jurassic
Oh,
World.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's all day, every day. I would say the same for the Alien franchise. I'll watch whatever's coming out of Alien
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah.
Yeah. You got another one?
I got one more email.
All right, man.
It's from Zach.
Zach?
Hi, James and Maso. Curious about something that inspired me from all the nerdy numbers talk from Caravan of Garbage.
No.
James is a nerd for numbers and effects in movies, but Maso is a nerd for costuming in movies.
It's true.
Who are some of the favourite costume designers and who are the best dressed actors, either characters or in real life?
Oh,
Well, I would shout out.
This is you.
Yeah, this is me. Lindy Hemming has done all she's done several of and Hemming by name, Hemming by nature.
Wow.
She did GoldenEye, the costume for GoldenEye, and some of the Brosnan Bonds. She did Casino Royale, which I think is one of the best costumes.
She didn't do Quantum, though, did she?
No, she didn't.
Because you don't like Quantum.
No, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think they just got Tom Ford to do it. He
Yeah.
was like, put him in the tight little
Put him in a
suit.
tidy suit. I'm Tom Ford.
But also, and I had to look this up because I'd forgotten her name, but Kim Barrett was the costume designer for the Wachowskis for a long time, and she did The Matrix.
Yeah,
and I
Matrix
think
is
that
good.
one is huge.
The
for-
first Matrix you're talking about.
I think maybe all of them. Let's have a quick
Yeah.
look. She did the Matrix trilogy, Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, Jupiter Ascending.
Okay.
But she also did Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann one. So but
That's
I
a
would
good one.
say
That's open shirts and white singlets.
yeah.
And holding a gun
You
sideways.
better believe it. And everything's
floppy hair.
everything's got a crucifix on it.
Everything's got a
What about a
crucifix on
Hawaiian
it.
shirt, but it's got crucifixes all
What if
over
it
it?
did, though?
But I think like the Matrix, that changed the world of that changed the entire world of how nerds dressed. You know what I
That
mean?
meant a guy
Yeah.
would buy a black trench coat
Yeah,
with cargo pants
that's right.
and New Balance sneakers.
Yeah, and they were like-
sunglasses.
And they would say, and I look just like Keanu
look like
Reeves in
Keanu
that
Reeves in
movie.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Who's the best dressed movie star?
I don't know. It's probably someone who wears like slacks and a tucked in polo or whatever.
Yeah, it's Clooney. It's Clooney because
Okay.
it's Clooney because he's not trying to be anything
Yeah. He's
Like-
not trying to be young,
exactly.
except
like,
he has dyed his hair at the moment.
that's
That's for a
That's
role,
for a play, I think. Yeah. But I think it's Clooney because he could like
He dresses his age.
and he could get all the free clothes from the designer brands or whatever, but he's just like, this is what I look good in.
Yeah.
I'm not trying anything extreme, and I always look nice.
He does
You know
look
what I mean?
nice.
He does look
He
nice.
looks crisp.
I think Daniel Craig's Daniel Craig is like, I'm a fashion guy.
He's
now.
a fashion man.
There's
yeah.
a Instagram page called What's Daniel Wearing?
What's
and it's
Daniel
just all
wearing?
just all these various.
What about
looks.
Adam Sandler
Yeah, he looks great.
in his shorts, etc.?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I also think Aaron Taylor Johnson was always looking good.
Okay.
But he's like, all these guys have stylists now. It's
Exactly.
not the same.
It's not the same. It's not as
You
cool.
know?
You know, if you look like Paul Newman,
Yeah.
from like back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, Paul Newman, Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Right up there. No stylists, just like,
No stylist, no style. I would even say.
that's right. Look like
Ugly,
garbage.
bad
Yeah.
looking,
And they're
blokes,
dead.
stupid idiots.
Stupid idiots who are dead. And it's their own fault.
Do you? So do you have any other favorite celebrities that you follow? There's
I don't really follow
Michael
celebrities on
Jordan
Instagram
fashion is really funny.
because of the giant suits.
Those big suits.
Big suits. Big suits. Daniel Craig's looking
What's
pretty
this?
good.
I follow some accounts that just like make fun of people in stupid suits,
Oh,
like
yeah.
really tight suits with
Uh-huh.
like what's to stop you from dressing like this? And it's like a really like it's a roided out lunatic in like the worst tightest suit you've ever
Yeah,
seen.
absolutely, yeah.
It's my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's from Daniel Ham, who says, "What's a franchise you'd love to do for Caravan of Garbage you haven't been able to get around to?" I want to do comic book movies that aren't comic book movies that you don't think are based on comic books.
Oh, Mystery Men?
Mystery Man, Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. That's free on YouTube.
That's free on YouTube. Other ones, Road to Perdition. Paul
Perdition,
Newman.
yeah.
History of Violence.
Yeah.
Hitch. These are all comic book
That's
movies.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would this be in the same group with superhero movies that aren't based on an original property, or do we do separate?
I think that would be separate.
Because
right?
that would include
that would be Hitch.
yeah.
No, that would be Hancock.
Hancock.
Push.
Yeah.
Sky High, maybe.
Yeah.
Zoom Academy.
Zoom Academy. Samaritan.
Jumper.
Jumper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defendor.
Defendors of the Earth.
Sure.
These are all good.
That's right. These are all good.
Yeah.
So you want to do specifically?
Yeah, that or vice versa, the one you said.
Yeah.
I also want to do wrap it up ones where we do like the last Indiana Jones, the last Daniel Craig, James Bond, the last Matrix, so I can package them as videos to release when I take time off.
Hell yeah.
And that's where the money is, Mason.
That's right. That's right.
Recycling old crap. Some Ross Jones who says, "How much would you pay to see a silverback gorilla in Uganda, the Ugandan jungle today?" So if those people don't know, in the Congo video we did, I put footage of me when I went into the Ugandan jungle and looked at gorillas.
Just looked at them.
It was $1,000 US. Wow. I would not pay that now. Like I couldn't afford it then. I can now, but I wouldn't put money towards that.
Okay.
But also a lot of it went towards conservation. So I guess I would.
So you're saying you're poor now?
I'm saying I'm poor now.
Interesting.
But I'm rich in big suits.
Oh, you got some of those big suits?
When Michael Jordan gets rid of his big suits.
Yeah, you got a peach coloured 5 button over there. Nice.
With a
big slacks.
Stupid hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
God.
Hell yeah.
I do also think there's something great about a guy who's just a rich guy and is just dressing like that.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
like this is my thing, even though it's awful.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
You gonna get a Switch too? They're out.
No, I'm gonna wait a bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are you?
No.
Or are you gonna wait for me to get one for your birthday?
Yeah,
again?
maybe. No, see, I feel like I've barely used the old one, so I'm
Yeah.
like, but I think I might, and I'm sure I say this whenever there's a major release, but I think I might get a PS5 for the new Bond game.
Dun-dun. Oh, it's probably not gonna be on Switch 2, I guess.
No, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
But is it gonna be one of those things where it streams to the
That's
Switch
what
2?
I'm saying, and I also don't want to be like, okay, well, in front of my TV now I have a Switch 2 and an old Switch that I don't use.
Yeah.
So I may as well get the
You can
PS.
transfer everything,
Ooh.
and that's good.
Oh, then what do I do with the old one?
Give
Just
it
crack
back
it up
to
my
me.
own head?
It was a lend as well. It
Oh,
wasn't
it's
an
a
actual
lend
gift.
or
Yeah, it wasn't real. It wasn't a real
Okay,
gift.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the show?
That is the whole show, James.
Why don't you tell me about it?
The show?
Yeah, like and what it is and all the
it's
people
a-
who helped put it together
Okay.
and how you can support the show.
Do you want me to
and
describe
et
what we
cetera.
did in the show?
Yeah, I know. We already did that during the show.
Okay, well, I'll work backwards. We got a lot of emails where people said you look tired. Then some guy said you had a terrible recipe.
Hey, that was a long time ago, and maybe I didn't.
Then we did some cool, funny jokes.
Yeah.
I think. And then,
It was a What We Reading segment.
yeah, that was there.
Then we talked about Ballerina.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then we did news.
What's happening next week? Materialists, maybe.
Maybe Materialists.
Nice. Okay, folks.
Maybe Karate Kid Legends. Maybe How to Train
I
Your
don't want to
Dragon.
do any of those. I don't want to do any of
Why
them.
don't you embrace movies the way that I embrace movies?
They're not movies.
Have kids and then you take them.
They're not movies.
They're not
They're
movies.
not movies.
I think you'll find by definition they are. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You would push over the Hollywood sign if you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, I would. Yes. Is that happening? Are we taking a trip?
Look, man, I don't know how, but we could look at it. We could look into it and at it. Yeah.
Do you think we could fund them to put the land back in
Oh.
Hollywood? So it's Hollywood land again?
Why did they take that down?
I don't know. I think maybe it just decayed or something, didn't it?
Ah.
Because they have had to restore them over the years, right?
Yeah, they always have. People graffiti.
Should we
and
look
shit.
into it? Should we look into why?
I'll do that while you wrap up the show.
Okay, if you
How
could do
about
that, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners. If you want to contact the show,
Yep.
oh, actually, sorry. If you want to leave a 5-star review,
Yes.
then James will find it and he'll read it out. You can just do that in app.
That's so easy.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. You and the listeners.
I agree. That's it. That's all you're doing.
You can do the 5-star review thing.
Oh shit! You paused. I was looking up Hollywoodland.
That's
This is from Riverdale Mom. Says 5-star review. Doing my part by leaving a 5-star review to help the Weekly Planet to beat Rich Roll's numbers.
nice.
So true.
Nice.
And TF Gallen says better than Rich Roll. Just a couple of
a
not
lot
crook,
of Rich Roll
must
related.
have been when we recorded the Rich Roll episode.
Yeah.
I'm making my way through them. Just a couple of not crook blokes talking about an industry full of crook blokes and shielders. If you want pop culture news without the fierce neckbeard energy of the other outlets, well, there's a bit of that here.
Yeah, there's a bit of
Whilst
that.
the hosts call out who are the crook blokes, then this is your podcast.
If you wanna-
Also, shout out to Rich Roll for being a good sport.
Good sport, Rich Roll.
Yeah, because I made fun of him for no reason. A
That's
guy
right.
I didn't know.
You said you'd throw him in a bin.
I did, and I still might.
Yeah.
But I appreciate.
You'll respect him while you're doing it.
Yeah. Also, if anything, he would throw me in a bit.
Also, if you want to have if you want to have a big full beard, you got to involve the neck.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Got to be a bit of neck.
You need to, you got to go a bit above the Adam's apple at the very least.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Folks, if you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com, or you can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Pod subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Maisie and Fidel and Sarabi for moderating over at those forums. They also make videos for our TikTok. They also make videos for our Clips channel. They're doing all sorts of stuff. They're getting amongst it. It's art and it's craft.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean?
It is too. I agree.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Did I say that?
Yeah,
Probably
I
did.
don't know.
If you want to follow some people on the socials, you follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Rob Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He'll keep you up to date on all things The Weekly Planet. You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown, Instagram Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies, chuck in a buck, and a man you would not miss. Otherwise, you can go to bigsandwich.co for $9 per month bonus podcast, early videos, video game Let's Plays, all sorts of stuff. So much stuff.
Yeah.
1 million hours of content.
What's going
Not
on
legally
there
binding.
this week? Is it the Jurassic Park playthrough?
It might be.
It is.
Oh, we had a wonderful
Or is
time.
that- Yeah, no, it is because it switched with the Power Fantasy. Yeah, that is this week. Jurassic World Park Arcade game that we played.
Jurassic Parkade.
Jurassic Parkade. Is that everything?
That's the whole thing. Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all those
Namaste.
musical themes. If you want to buy a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com, you search for the Weekly Planet or Weekly Planet posters.
And that's free.
to browse, yeah.
Yeah, to browse.
That's right.
Yeah.
you wanna
There'll be
buy
a thing that comes up and it says, do you allow cookies on the side? And you go, oh. And then it says, actually, can you turn off ad blocker if you have that? And whatever.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then it's like, do you want to put in your credit card details for no reason?
Do you
You're
want
like,
to sign
yeah,
up for our newsletter? Etc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next week, Materialists.
And
Unless we think of something else.
Yeah, it might be. There might be a TV show we forgot about.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Mason, in 1949, the Hollywoodland sign drew complaints from local residents who called it an eyesore and a detriment to the community.
I forgot. Timothy Dalton crashed into it with a rocket pack.
Oh, he did in The Rocketeer in 1930,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
what happened to it. Don't
True.
worry, but close the pages.
Okay.
Yep.
And advocated for its demolition. This is an alternate version.
Oh,
of the
yeah,
thing
okay,
that really
sure.
happened.
This is
The Hollywood
fanfic.
Chamber of Commerce protested against the sign's removal and offered to
Oh, we don't
repair it.
protest.
The chamber entered into a contract with the City of Los Angeles Park Development to repair and rebuild the sign. The contract stipulated that land be removed to spell Hollywood and reflect the district, not the Hollywood Land Housing Development.
Uh-oh.
The restoration and removal of the land portion of the sign was conducted in September of 1949.
1949.
Now we've all learned and we know. Thanks everyone for listening.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.